Hi everyone, I'm doing this recording from my car today. I am waiting in my car to volunteer for my daughter's play tonight. She's in Oklahoma at her high school, and I will be helping out with selling concessions, so I'm waiting to go inside because it's a little early. So I'm going to record Julie's Jewels from my car. All right, so today's jewel for you is about having courage, facing the truth, and getting real, and why we need to do that. So I'm holding the phone, so it's a little awkward, but all right. So there's a couple of examples I have for you. One, I have a client who oversees a variety of projects, and last year, one of those projects went fully off the rails. The project ended up losing money. There were many mistakes. It was a colossal cluster. And what he's doing now to improve processes and improvement of system and to improve systems and efficiencies is he's developing KPIs for these projects so that everybody has visibility, including anyone who touches the project. Superintendents, he's a director of field operations for a construction company. So anyone who touches the project, superintendents, project managers, this person, leadership has visibility into data, day-to-day data on how the project is performing on a variety of KPIs. So this may not sound monumental, but the reality is that they haven't really had a system like this before. They just sort of see how's the project doing, and they may check in on the data from time to time. But this major loss last year was a surprise. And so this is an opportunity to collect data on a day-to-day basis. What is the project looking like? How are we doing against our key performance indicators? And he color-coded it. So it's red, yellow, green. The color codes should be intuitive. And it gives everybody an indication to see how the project's doing against profitability metrics for the organization. So this is a looking under the hood, making sure everybody knows what is so that throughout the project, not just at the end when you're truing everything up and it's a mess, you can see, all right, we're off here. Here's what we need to do to pivot. Here's what we need to do to get the project back on track. So that's one of the key points, is that this visibility into the day-to-day goings on the project gives you an opportunity to course correct. So that's the first example, and that is getting real. That is seeing what is so. That is not being an ostrich and burying your head in the sand. That is looking at what is actually happening and unfolding on the project in real time so you can make adjustments accordingly. There are no surprises. You can mitigate risk, and again, everyone's on the same page. So I'm going to share another getting real, having courage, facing the truth that has to do with me. So I'm doing a leadership circle profile certification course next week. So this is an assessment. It's a very robust assessment around people's leadership. And anytime you do a certification course like this, if it's a good course, you're doing it on yourself too. So I asked a number of people in my life to contribute information about my leadership. And then I did my debrief and got my report this week. And, there were some good surprises, for quite frankly, about my leadership effectiveness, and some hard truths to face. A couple of which I found kind of funny because they're not actually hard because I know them, but I've maybe been ignoring them. One is I am not the most composed. This is probably why I'm not a great poker player. And why nobody in my entire life has ever said to me, Julie, you're hard to read. Like, no, I'm not hard to read. You can see it on my face, what I'm feeling. So my composure is low, and my critical part of my personality is very high. I know it's shocking. It's so shocking. Not shocking. I am very self-critical, and I am very critical of other people. And so while these two pieces of data were difficult to face, not the most enjoyable things to confront, I had a very lovely facilitator walking me through this debrief. And because I'm a coach and everything's always an opportunity, we looked at what's in it for me to actually unpack what this means and spend some time thinking about how I can improve in these areas so that my leadership can get better across as a coach, as a leader in my community, in various roles I have in my life, what would be in it for me to practice behaviors that will reduce my self-critical piece, that will reduce my criticism and judgment of others, and that will support maintaining composure even in the most stressful of circumstances. So this confronting what is so is enabling me to think about how I can improve my leadership. It's an opportunity whenever you look at what is true. And when you bury your head in the sand and you're not actually being honest about what's happening, you don't get to address truthfully the problems and find real solutions. So my jewel today is to have courage to be real, to face the truth, and to leverage that confrontation with what is real, leverage that seeing that visibility into what is so as a real opportunity to say, all right, what now? How will I improve? What is next? What is in it for me? And how will I move forward? I want to leave you with something that has nothing to do with this, which is just like a slight restoration of faith in humanity. I say slight because things are nuts in the world right now. And it doesn't really have to do with anything, but again, it's just a feel-good moment. My daughter, who's performing in Oklahoma tonight, always goes to the bagel bin, which is near our house, loves bagels, #Jewish girl, #carbohydrates are yummy. And she called me on her walk home, which is like a 2-minute walk, and she had this tremor in her voice. Of course, I got nervous. What's the matter? Because #Jewish mom. And she's like, Mom, guess what? And I'm like, oh my God, what? Are you okay? Like, what's happening? And she's like, Mom, this older man at the bagel bin dropped a bunch of things on the floor, and I helped pick them up for him. And then as I was going to pay for my bagel, he paid for me. He paid for my bagel. Isn't that so nice? So I was like, yes, that is so nice. Also, my kid is a rock star, and she's just awesome. With that, have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for listening.